Hi Flosstube, welcome to this video. My name is Anna and I'm here to talk about cross stitch. Today is Sunday, October 5th, and I'm here a little bit late to give you an update for what I stitched on in September. I did have a couple chances to record a video before this, but I decided that I would rather use that time to stitch. So here I am on a Sunday giving you guys an update. It should be a pretty short one. I worked on a few things. I had a new start. I do not have any haul. So yeah, I'm going to talk about what I worked on, maybe a little bit of what I plan to work on next month. I'll announce the winner of the giveaway from the last video, and then I will have another giveaway this video. And then after all of that, I will probably talk a little bit about what we've been up to, and yeah, let's just get started. So in September, since I last gave an update, I have worked on my full coverage project. It's called Mini Birdsong by Heaven and Earth Designs. And this is where I got to. I guess I could do maybe a side-by-side like that. I have it light, like an overhead light, that I think shows the stitching really well, but I have to stand like way back in this corner. So let's see. I finished this diagonal. I went over a little bit on a couple of the colors, and then I came back up and I started another 20 wide diagonal, and I've made it down to here. My goal this year is to finish out this diagonal, but there's no pressure if I don't get to it. Yeah, I know that I have a few new subscribers after I posted my stash dive videos, and for people who are new, I just wanted to share my sort of stitching, my approach to cross stitching. For me, it's like my hobby that I use to relax, so I don't put any like time pressure on myself, and I don't try to stitch to a deadline. And I do have like loose goals for my projects, but if I don't meet those goals, then it's no big deal. I'll meet them later, maybe next year. So it's a no pressure hobby for me, and that's how I like it. So I stitch on whichever one of my whips I want to, and any progress is enjoyable. So I will try to work on this diagonal for the rest of this year, and maybe I will get a finish. There was a lot of confetti in this section here, but this portion went pretty quickly, this blue. And then a big part of this diagonal are these like pinks and reds, so I think that there will be less color changes through here. So we'll see. This is stitched on 18 count Aida. It's my oldest whip. I started it early in 2019, and yeah, I'm actually thinking about starting another full coverage project at some point. The project I'm considering the most is God Shed His Grace. I'll put a picture up. It would be really big, and I need to think about which count of fabric I want to use, but I'm considering starting that one soon. So we'll see, stay tuned. I really like the landscape aspect of that one. I'm also thinking about doing a home in the mountains, but I think of the two, I'm just gonna start one, and I think God Shed His Grace is more interesting with like color changes and that sort of thing. Okay, so what else did I work on in September? Let's see. I worked on 2 other whips, so only 3 whips altogether. One that I worked on is Halloween Banner Sampler. Let's see if I can get the cover photo here. This is in this magazine. It's just cross stitch, September, October 2012. And I'm stitching this, and I'll show that to you at the later when I talk about plans. But I'm also stitching this Halloween Banner Sampler. I made some cuts, so I cut off like this whole side, and I moved the ghost over. And so that's what I worked on. Is I finally placed where I wanted the ghost, and I decided which colors I wanted to use, and that's what I worked on for this one. So It's still in the Q-snap and I'm still gonna work on it, so I'm gonna leave it. But this is where I got to. So I think it was last year that I had the goal of finishing, like connecting the border. And so this year I would like to finish this one. This is almost to the edge on this side. So yeah, I added more on this part here and I started in on the ghost. I decided to use, I don't remember what colors now, but I added a strand of Krynic to like a white or like a light gray color. And so it's got a little bit of shimmer, but it still fits in with the rest of the image. This is on Picture This Plus Jewel, which I think is a really fun like Halloween purple. Maybe if I stand under this light, it will be a better color. Yeah, it's really bright, just great. So yeah, all I have to do is I'm gonna fill in these eyes with green. I need to finish stitching the ghost, which there's quite a bit of it left. And then I need to resolve this border. In the original picture, it was pretty straight, just like a single strand, but I might add some more like swoops or swirls to fill in the space. So this is gonna stay out for me to work on in October, hoping to finish it this year. But again, if I don't, then it's no big deal. So that was Halloween banner sampler. The other one I worked on was also Halloween, and it's also from a magazine. It's from this Just Cross Stitch magazine from October 2021. You can see I've got a couple of things flagged in here that I might want to stitch. So this one is called Halloween Time. It's designed by the Witchy Stitcher. And this is what it will look like. I haven't stitched it in yet, but I am going to change this bat. I'm actually going to change it. I was inspired by this needle minder, so I like tried to chart my own like little bat in that kind of shape. So we'll see how that turns out, but I'll show you how far I got on it. And I actually took this one camping with us. So I got a lot of work done on the black while we were in the tent. I'll talk about this more later during the life update, but it rained quite a bit when we went camping, so we spent some time in the tent, which is fine, it's cozy, and I got a chance to work on this some more. So this is where it's at. It's still in the hoop because I am going to continue working. I'm trying to think about last time. I believe I was through like most of the cat. I might have been like down here. So I finished the whole cat, and then I started on the corner and I worked up and did the word Halloween and made it up to the top corner over here. And then I worked across the bottom and made it to this corner, and now I'm going up, and over here it will say time, and then there'll be another like border kind of like this along the top, and then at the top is that bat. Yeah, there's also throughout the pattern there are like little almost like confetti around and a couple of stars. So I haven't decided whether I'm going to put those. I'm going to maybe try and see what they look like, but I don't want to drag my threads, and it just seems like, we'll see. I haven't decided on that part. Oh, this is also stitched on it's a fabric from Forbidden Fiber Co. And it's called Creme Brulee, and I love it. It's really great for this because it has like an old-timey sort of spooky parchment feel to it, but it's really, really warm. So I think it could also be like harvest. There. I think it could also be like a harvest time, or it's warm enough that it could be like a Christmas background, or it's kind of got like an old map or old parchment. So like I think fantasy stuff could look good on it. I really like it. I used half of it. So we'll see. I might be using it more in other projects. We'll see. Okay, those were the three whips that I worked on. I also had a new start. Oh, and I should mention that for this one, I also want to finish this year. Um, and there's not that much. I think it's pretty achievable. So I'm going to leave this out in October to keep stitching on it seasonally. And yeah, hopefully I can get a finish on that. And then if I finish both of those, then I will have no Halloween whips. So I went ahead and had a new start. This one brings me back up to 15 works in progress that I have going right now. I started a Mill Hill kit. I started this buttons and beads kit. It's Haunted Cottage. I felt like beading and I didn't have anything that was ready for beads. So I was like, I'll just start one of these kits that I have. But then I didn't end up doing any beading. I just cross stitched. Well, I actually just started it yesterday and I spent part of that time kitting it up basically. So like when you get the kit, the threads are all together and you have to use the key to figure out which one is the light purple and which one is the very light purple and which one is the medium purple. And you have to go through it like that. So I like to put the threads on bobbins, on rings. So this one actually has a lot of different colors. The last one that I did, it's actually right over here. Let me grab it real quick. Okay, the last buttons and beads kit I did was this Luck of the Irish, and you can see it's like mostly yellow. There's like 3 yellows and 1 gold bead that were in like almost all of it. So it went pretty quickly. This one has like a lot of different colors in it, but what I like to do is I put the name of the DMC number and the symbol on here, and then they're in the order that they appear in the key. And then I do something kind of similar with the beads. I put the symbol of the beads that are in this little tin on the outside, and then that's the pack that's in there. So anyway, I spent a lot of my time kitting this up, and then I stitched a few threads, a few lengths yesterday. So I'm gonna need this probably. Oh, I stopped mid-thread. That's where I got to. So I started in the middle and chose a symbol near the middle, and then I'm working my way up, and I think I'm going to do the Sarah Stitching Mommies method of using the typewriter method from the top. And so I'm working my way up over here, and then I'll complete all the stitching in the first square and like work those colors in. And then once I finish the first row and I start cross stitching the second row, then I might go back in and start on the beads that come right at the top. So anyway, I'm happy to have a new start. It's been a while since I had one. This one is bigger than like some of the little smalls I've done, but it's not huge. So I'll definitely be carrying this forward into next year. So yeah, this puts me at 15 whips again. All right. So for plans for November, I'm going to keep out those 3 Halloween projects and hopefully finish 2 of them. I also am going to pull out this project. It's called Horn of Plenty from the same magazine. And I haven't worked on it yet this year, but I do have a couple of goals on it. So let me just show you where I'm at on this one real quick. So this is where I'm at. I have stitched, I think I've stitched the whole like cornucopia area, but I need to backstitch part of it still. And then I counted out and started the border over in the corner. So my goal for this year is to finish half of the border, including backstitch, and also backstitch the middle part. So we'll see. This one is on Vintage Country Mocha. So that's what I'll be working on next month. I'm trying to think. Next I will share the winner of the giveaway from the last video. In the last video, I asked you to share with me in the comments what you do to try to get outdoors. And we had a few entries. And so I did a random number generator, and the winner, let's see, I can show you what you're going to win. The winner of this little Mill Hill kit and this little chart together goes to Jen Schrock 5490. So thank you for watching and for commenting, and we will connect to get your address to put this in the mail for you. And I was going through my stash again during my last stash dive and decided that I really don't want to stitch this one. And so I'm going to toss this in here too. So please enjoy, and we'll get this to you soon. Okay, like I said, I did not have any haul for this video. I did not buy anything new, and I did not look very hard for any thrifting. We've been staying busy on the weekends. The weather here in Colorado has been beautiful, so we've been trying to get out a lot more. And during my last stash dive, I just realized how much stuff I have that I don't want to stitch and I want to just shift. So I'm going to do another giveaway now. I'm going to give away this kit that I picked up a while back. I picked it up at a Tuesday morning with another kit. I had never seen cross stitch there before, and so I just grabbed both of them, and I already gave away the other one. And I decided that I'm going to give this one away too. You can see I paid $11 for it. It has black Ada and all the threads. It's just a brand new kit that I bought at the store. It's not pre-owned. Yeah, I just figured I've seen some really beautiful Luca-esque kits with florals, so I think if I'm going to go for like a big close-up floral, I might try something new with a new kit like that. So anyway, if you would like to be entered to win this Dimensions kit called Tulip Drama, it's 14 count Ada that it comes with, please leave me a comment about tulips. Say the word tulip in your comment. Maybe tell me what kind of flowers you like, and mention that tulips are just fine too. I like tulips, but out of all of the flower bulbs, there are some others that I like a lot more. Like I really like hyacinth. I think they smell really good. I really like crocuses because they're the first thing that come up here. Anyway, leave a comment about tulips, and I'll know you want to be entered to win. Here's the word tulip right there. This kit, and I'll draw it next time. For next time I do a normal update, I will announce the winner of this one. Okay, so that's it. That's all the cross stitch. I don't have anything new to show you, so I guess I will talk a little bit about what we've been up to in normal and general life. So one of the first things that we did at the beginning of the month is we went camping. We took Ethan with us. This was our second camping trip with Ethan, and we were planning to go for 2 nights over Labor Day weekend. We did not stay for 2 nights. We could have, but we ended up picking a place that was just a little bit over an hour from our house. So it was very close to home. And we took Friday off and we drove out because I had read online that this was a really popular area, and it was Labor Day weekend, so we were expecting a lot of people to be camping and hiking, and there's there's a popular hike near the campsites that we were looking at getting spots for, and these campsites, they were in a national forest, and so for this style of camping, it's the first person to get there and then pay the fee for the night, that's their spot. So we got to this campsite that was supposed to be really popular on Friday morning of this busy holiday weekend, and there was no one there. It was completely deserted. And we had seen the night before that we were expecting a lot of rain and potentially a thunderstorm or two, but it was mostly rain in the forecast. So we weren't concerned for safety reasons to not go camping. And we even camped very near a river. We were not concerned about like excessive rainfall or anything. But I think that the forecast really drove a lot of people away because we set up our camp and then it was like 9:30 in the morning on Friday and the campsite was completely empty. So we spent all day Friday alone at this campsite, and it was also my first time ever having a campfire in Colorado. Usually there is a fire ban, like a complete ban on open fires, because it's so dry and the risk of wildfires is so, I don't know, there's a high risk of fires. Or and alternatively, if there's not a fire ban, it is so wet that you can't burn anything because it's just so damp. And so this time there was no fire ban and it hadn't rained recently there. And so we went around to a couple of the empty campsites and found some logs that were people had left over and like tucked under bushes and stuff. So we were able to have a campfire at the campsite with Ethan alone. Like it was really neat. And then that night, as we were like settling in, it was starting to get dark. There were a couple people who pulled up after dark and claimed a couple sites, but they both had like trailers, so they didn't get out and set up a camp or anything. So it was really quiet that night too. And then we woke up on Saturday and decided that we would just keep an eye on the weather. It did rain on us on Friday a couple times, but then it cleared up and it was a beautiful day. So Saturday we had a great morning. We hiked. Ethan played in some puddles. It was quite cold. It's very cold in the mountains overnight, even in the summer. It was like low 40s when we woke up and started exploring around the area. And so then we came back to our campsite and decided we would make lunch and eat lunch and clean up and then see what we felt like. And during that time, from like mid-morning Saturday until like a little bit after noon, the campsite filled up with people. Like every site was full. And the site next to us that had a lot of room for tents had like, I want to say like 6 families, like maybe all the same family, but like 6 different tents with different groups of people, like a family reunion type of situation, which is great. And that's the experience you usually get when you go camping at these places, is have other people like around you. But we just decided that we had that great experience solo at the campsite that we would just pack up and head home and sleep in our own beds an hour away. So I'm glad we did that. We hurried up and packed up almost everything except for the tent. And then partially because we could hear thunder in the distance. And when you're up in those mountain areas and you're like in a valley, you can hear the thunder, but you don't know how close it is until it's on top of you because the visibility is so short. Anyway, so we were packed up and then we were just waiting in the tent for the rain to clear out. And it was kind of funny because there was a family that had pulled up, they had been there for a while, but they didn't put their rain fly on their tent. They were just doing other stuff. And then we heard this really loud thunder and they just were just like running across the meadow trying to get their rain fly on. Like it was blowing in the wind and we were just standing in our tent looking out at them struggling. I don't know. You put your rain fly on first. I mean, set up camp before you do other stuff. Anyway, so that was great. It was fun and Ethan was great. And we felt like we were prepared to do 2 nights, but I'm glad that we came home and slept in our own beds. What else? We've just been doing other like normal hiking stuff. Hopefully I've been adding photos of those. And then just yesterday we went on a bike ride at one of our favorite places. It's Waterton Canyon. It's just south of Denver. And it's a road, like a dirt road. So it's not like a real hiking experience, but we went biking. So we took my gravel bike, and my husband took his mountain bike where he has a shotgun seat for Ethan, which it's where he rides in front and he holds his own handlebars. So we did Waterton Canyon and saw the bighorn sheep. And I guess word of warning, if you do want to go to Waterton Canyon, that there are no dogs allowed because of the bighorn sheep. They get right up on the road and you got to give them space. So yeah, that's what we did yesterday. This morning we went to the farmer's market. I'm hoping that Ethan is napping right now. He certainly should be. So yeah, I'm just gonna have, what are we doing for looking forward into the future? I probably won't see you guys again until after Halloween. We asked Ethan what he wanted to be this year. Last year he was a trash man, which was a big hit. We were a trash crew. We all wore like high-vis vests and it was great. The year before that he was a dinosaur. This year he wants to be a storm chaser, which requires us to also be in costumes. Like, for it to make sense, then we need to be storms. So I'm working on I'm working on our costumes, and the main effort is going towards like a tornado costume for me to wear. So hopefully I can show you guys pictures of how that turns out and how it goes. And it's fun. It's fun to be creative and make a costume like this. So we'll see how it goes. We're also going to the pumpkin patch next weekend. Ethan is excited to carve pumpkins. He's 3, so we have not done that before. We've painted pumpkins, but not carved them. So I'm hoping we can have that experience this year. And I'm looking at my calendar to see what else is going on. We've got stuff coming up. We're busy and it's exciting. We have some friends who might be coming to visit. They're going to bring, if they do come, which it looks like they are, they're bringing their 5-month-old baby, which is going to just remind us of what it was like when Ethan was that old. So that's exciting, and we're looking forward to that. Anyway, I've been rambling for a lot longer than I thought I would, and this video was not as short as I thought it would be. So I'm going to go now, and I will hopefully see you guys in about a month to give you another update. So happy stitching. Bye.